Hey guys, so today I'm going to be going over spinnerbait fishing. It is fall, so spinnerbait's a great bait to be using during this time of the year. Bass are real active, they're up shallow feeding, and spinnerbait's a great way to mimic a bait fish. It doesn't really look like one, especially with the wire coming out, and then the blades, but you're going to be reeling it in pretty fast at a fast rate, and they don't really see the wire very much. All they see is the flashing of the blades in the skirt going by. It's a reaction style bait. You can get it with several different types of blade combinations and skirt combinations and stuff. So I'm going to go over all of them with you and then what I like to throw it on. So first, the one I use the most is this one right here. This is a Booyah spinnerbait. I use 1/2 ounce just about all the time. If I'm fishing really shallow, I'll jump down to a 3/8 ounce, but most of the time I use 1/2 ounce, and I don't really go any deeper than that. If I'm fishing where it's deeper, I'm going to be using a deeper crankbait, not a spinnerbait. But this setup here is a one Colorado blade, which is this one right here, and one willow leaf blade. The Colorado blade puts off a little more vibration and a bigger thump, while the willow leaf blade is made for like going a little bit faster, has a smaller rotation, less of vibration. So that's like what I like to throw, because it's a little bit of like a best of both worlds. And when I'm using a spinnerbait, I always have a trailer hook on. This is a red one, even though it's worn out a little bit. I use a red trailer hook. It adds like a bleeding bait fish profile, and I really do think that helps out with those finicky fish. The next one is just a single Colorado blade, like you have right here. This one is made for muddy water or low light visibility that really puts off a big thump and attracts the fish. This is just a standard skirt, not a painted, head or anything. This is a cheaper Strike King one. I haven't fished this one. This is why this one doesn't have a trailer hook on it. But if I ever used it, or when I end up using it, I will definitely put a trailer hook on. This is a white and chartreuse skirt on it, so I'd use that in muddy water. Got a light skirt on there with the Colorado blade. That's perfectly set up for that dark, dingy, muddy water. Or if you're fishing at night, that would also be a perfect spinnerbait for that. Next, we move on to this is a Boyd Duckett Castaic spinnerbait. You can get them with this longer skirt. This kind of makes it to where it looks like a bait fish a little bit more than those shorter skirts. And it also makes it to where if you wanted like a bait fish profile, you didn't have to put a bait fish soft plastic on there. You can just have that skirt. I would also put a trailer hook on this one. I haven't fished this one. And this one right here, this blade is 2 willows. So this is made for burning it. Clearer water, less vibration. You're going to be burning it really fast, and next to wood, anything like that, any sort of structure to really get that reaction strike, or over flats. And lastly, this is the same, type setup Colorado blade with a white one, but I added I think this is Skinny Dipper, I'm pretty sure, trailer. But you can add a trailer right there to make it look a little bit more realistic like that. Instead of putting a trailer hook, you can put that on there. So I like to throw this around wood. It works really well around wood. 4 foot or less flats. I don't really like to go over 4 foot with a spinnerbait. If I'm going to fish 5 feet or more, I'm going to be using, square bills, lipless, or getting into the medium diver, crankbaits. What else? I like to throw this on anywhere from a 6'6" to a 7-foot rod. The reason why you want a little bit shorter of a rod to a mid-range rod is because you want to be accurate with these, because you're going to be throwing it next to wood, or you're going to be throwing it to cover. So you're going to need to be accurate. And if you get over 7 foot, you're going to lose accuracy. But I wouldn't go below a 6'6", because you're going to want to be able to bomb these way out there. And if you get below a 6'6", you lose a lot of casting distance. So that's what I would like, somewhere between a 6'6" and a 7 foot. Medium heavy is what I would prefer. If I'm going to go 3/8 ounce, I would love a medium, but mostly, I'm fishing 1/2 ounce. So I'm going to go medium heavy with a moderate tip. Moderate helps with when the fish grab it. They can take, especially if they're short strike, it lets that trailer hook catch a hold of them and really let it get deep in their mouth before it sets the hook. And softer tip for working it adds a better action to the spinnerbait, makes it vibrate a little bit more. But you can also fish it on a medium heavy fast tip if you needed to. Both of them work well. Just a moderate's more set up for a spinnerbait. What else? I'm always going to add a trailer hook. I've already said that. Once again, you can get them, you know, with the longer skirts, shorter skirts. You can add soft plastics to it. You know, like you can add a grub, or you can add little bait fish plastics to it. The line I'm going to fish this on, I'll either fish it on 14 to 15 pound braid, or what most people like to throw it on is monofilament, and I would go 15 to 17 pound mono, because you're going to be throwing it around wood. So mono works really well because it's going to have a little bit of stretch. I'm going to let it get in their mouth a little bit easier. And you don't have to set the hook very hard on these. It sets the hook pretty well. You're going to kind of lean into it, and it'll set the hook just fine. So mono is the way to go. If you wanted to fish these deeper, but I don't, if you are going to fish these deeper, then I would definitely go with a fluorocarbon, a 12, 15 pound fluorocarbon. That'll get these baits down to about 6 feet, 7 feet. If you wanted to fish these spinner baits deeper, that's just not how I fish them, but a lot of people prefer to do that, and that's perfectly fine. So once again, this is all about spinner baits. Thank you.